Coffee with Joy. I'm your favorite host, Joy, with Coffee with Joy Talk Show podcast. I'm so excited to have you all here. Well, it's time to get on a plane and fly far. Very, very far, people. Not too far, depending on where you are, but not that far. But it's always great to go back to the motherland, aka Africa. So I'm so excited to be talking to my guest, Jenny, who have moved from one continent to another. Have you ever thought about relocating? Have you ever put in plan to even relocate? Have you ever let God just allow you just to move out of fear into faith? Well, I have my guest, Jenny, who's going to talk about her experience as living in Accra, Ghana. I'm so excited. Not only because she's there, but actually being there. So I'm just so excited to hear her experience along with you all. So stay tuned. After these messages, we're going to talk to my guest, Jenny. Our podcast. Connect with us, the Coffee with Joy Talk Show podcast, and let's grow together. Email us, and we surely look. Welcome back to Coffee with Joy. So excited to have you all here. So without further ado, I'm going to bring my guest on, Jenny. Hey, Jenny, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So before we get in, can you tell the people a little bit about yourself? And then we're going to jump in all things Accra, Ghana.
Okay, sure. So I am an entrepreneur. I own several businesses, but my main passion and main business in life is I'm a cake decorator. So I decorate cakes for a living. And my most recent business is a short-term rental business like Airbnb.
Oh, wow. Yes. So excited. So without further ado, let's just jump right in because, of course, we want to get to the nitty gritty. What made you move from one continent to another?
Well, the lifestyle mostly. It was mostly the fact that I'm an adventurous person, so I can't sit somewhere for too long when I'm not growing. So I felt like in America I was not growing. I wasn't able to grow because of the lifestyle that's in America. You're working and you're paying bills, and that's really all that you have to do. The that's the only amount of time that you have to do, you know? So
say the last part again. I think you cut out.
Okay.
You said it was the only part, wasn't much to do in the US, so you came to Africa.
Yeah, because the only thing, sorry, the only thing you have time to do in America is to work and to pay bills. And you don't really have time to really live your life. So I just felt like I was stuck, in this forever loophole of just constantly going to work, paying bills, and not really enjoying my life. So that's what made me seek out other places to live.
So now, before we get to why you chose Accra, you say you're a cake decorator. How long have you been doing cakes?
Oh, for 12 years now, actually. Yesterday was my business's birthday. So I started my business exactly 12 years ago on December 1st.
Oh, wow. So what type of cakes do you do? Is like more wedding cakes or just a variety of all?
It's a variety of all, but typically I enjoy doing birthday cakes, and they're more like specialty cakes. So they're the fondant cakes. Those are what I really love to do.
Wow. Okay. That's amazing. Cause hey, cake decorating. I'm no Betty Crocker and I'm not her cousin. And mentally I can throw down, but reality, tell somebody else. Can't do it.
Right.
I can't. If I put my mind
It's
to
not
it.
for everyone.
Yes.
It's definitely not for everyone because I baked from scratch, and I also went to culinary school. So yeah, so it helped. So I learned, the science behind baking. So
Wow, that's amazing. So, and then how did you get into like the real estate, the short rental business?
Honestly, ever since I moved out of my mom's house, when I got my first apartment, my roommate just dipped out on me one day, and I was just left with the bills. So I could not afford the apartment by myself, so I had to, find a roommate and stuff like that. But if anyone ever had roommates, they know it's not always easy to get along with people.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how it started. I just started looking for roommates online, and I had some bad experiences with that. But as I kept going, every place that I moved to after that, I always got like a 2-bedroom apartment or more, and then like found roommates, and then eventually I decided to put the rooms on Airbnb instead.
Mhm.
So
Nice.
I furnished them, made them all nice. Because at first I was offering unfurnished rooms, but then I decided to furnish them, make it look pretty, and then just put them on Airbnb. And
Oh,
that's kind of how it started. And then from there, I just wanted to grow and have like a legit Airbnb where it was private, separate apartments.
mm.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's amazing because you always hear people talk about the Airbnb business,
Yeah.
going into that because it's a good business, good money to bring
Yeah.
in. I won't say side hustle because it may just be the job, but it's
Right.
great money if you utilize it correctly. So that's amazing. So now that
Absolutely.
we have got on a plane and
Yeah.
taken ourselves over some hundreds of miles, as one
Sure
may
did.
say, over the pond. But
Yeah.
so now that we are in Ghana, how did we get there and why did we make this our residence?
Okay. So I've been thinking about moving to Ghana for a while now, just because on Instagram a few years back, I was seeing people investing in land in Ghana. And I was like, okay, that would be cool to do, someday. I don't know when it's going to happen, but someday I would like to invest in Ghana. And
Mhm.
then this past year, you know, I felt the urge to leave America because I was like, I can't keep doing this for so long, and rent is so expensive. So one day, this relocation company just popped up on my Instagram, and I just looked into it, and my lease was ending. It was kind of just like the perfect time. I was like, do I want to renew my lease for a whole nother year, or do
Mhm.
I want to just take this chance and just move because this opportunity is just sitting right here in my face?
Yeah.
So I decided to purchase the services from the relocation company, and then use all of my, I never touched any of my PTO from my job. So I decided to use all of it on a trip to Ghana just to make sure this was, the right move for me.
Oh,
So,
wow. So now
yeah.
that became the right now that you're here, before you actually commit to residing there, during your
Yeah.
PTO time, what stuck out the most to you and what was the least? Because of course it was all great because you're there. But
Right.
what was the best, and then least that you was now that you're in the midst of using your PTO?
Right. Definitely the rent prices, because they're a lot cheaper than the United States. So that was one of the things that just drew me to it, because I was like, if I can eliminate one stress in my life, it would be rent, because rent is everybody's biggest bill. It's the most expensive bill that people have in America. So if I could eliminate that and not have to stress about that, that would just bring my stress level down and bring me back to peace.
Yeah.
So that was one of the major things. And getting to meet like the locals here, and how happy they are and how at peace they are. And even while I'm speaking to them, they're just like, I'm just at peace. I don't work too hard. Like, it's just the culture and the different lifestyle here that makes everything just seem so peaceful.
Yeah.
So those were the best parts. I
Mm.
mean, the bad parts, I wouldn't say. It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
So maybe the bad parts, I would say, maybe like the roads could be a lot of, yeah, because sometimes depending on where you live, the roads are pretty rough, and then sometimes it depends, you know, about the drivers, because some Uber drivers don't even want to pick me up from where I am because the roads are so bad. So that's the only thing. But I mean, I really can't say anything bad about, living here or this whole experience, because there are so many other good things about it. Even though the roads are bad, it's like you can still walk and get fresh organic fruits that are right here in your neighborhood. You don't have to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you need a car? Not really.
Right.
Not really. Depends on the lifestyle. Do you need to be driving every day and going, over these rough roads? Not really. Like I said, it depends on your lifestyle and, if you want to go party every day or do stuff like that. But if you're a homebody like me and, you kind of just at home, working from home and just enjoying the neighborhood and the locals that live in the neighborhood, you're fine. You're fine. So,
You're fine. Oh wow, that's amazing. Just sitting here, just listening. And it's
yeah,
just so grand to know having the opportunity as well as going to Ghana. Just saying, I'm just going to
right.
do it. So now that you're
Right.
there, did you go in the relocation program? Did you go by yourself, or you went with a group, or you just?
I am so independent in life. I enjoy doing things by myself. So I even whenever I make a big move, I'm originally from Connecticut,
Yeah.
and the first big move that I made was from Connecticut to Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
So I I have no problem doing things by myself. So yes, I flew from Atlanta, Georgia to Ghana all by myself. I worked with the whole relocation company, did everything by myself. I went to all the restaurants and shopping and just walking around by myself.
Yeah.
But I'm a very spiritual person, so I put all my trust and faith, in God.
Yeah.
So it's all about your mindset. So if you believe you're always safe and protected, you'll be fine. But if you're
Yeah.
scared out of your mind and think every little bad thing's gonna happen to you, I probably wouldn't recommend you doing that then, because it's just about your mindset. Like, I'm so secure in myself
Mhm.
and my experiences in life that I don't worry about, stuff like that. I know I'm protected. So
Amen. Yeah.
amen.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I'm with you. Definitely independent.
Right.
Definitely say I'm gonna go because hey, I'm not allowing no one to water down my garden and say,
Right.
hey, you can. I'm a flourish and I'm gonna go. If I have to go by myself, I know God is with me because He would never gave me the ideal thought for me to go.
Facts. I'm
So,
telling you, every step of this process I was led, I was guided.
mhm,
So I knew that I don't have to worry about certain things because I was led here for a reason. So I'm
amen.
just I'm just following the steps.
Wow, this is amazing. So now that you use your, how long you was over there with your PTO?
1 month,
Well,
just a
okay.
month.
So now that
Yeah,
you're over
the
there for a
entire month
month,
due.
when did the decision to kick in to say, you know what, this is definitely a relocation? When did that decision kicked in?
When I signed the lease. While I
Ah,
was visiting. When I signed the lease on my apartment that I'm living in right now. Yes.
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 Wow. That's,
Yes.
I mean, because again, you go and like you said, you want to go see, make sure. And granted, you may have said it, but I probably, this is your first time in Accra or you've been there before?
No, when I came to visit in June. That was my first time. June 2025. That was my first time in Accra.
Okay.
And then, I went back home after my PTO was done, just to gather my stuff, quit my job, and move. And then
Mhm.
I moved here mid-August. So
Okay.
yes,
Yes, relocation. That's what I'm talking about. Up and out of no
yes,
thoughts, no
yes,
clue,
yes.
no idea. And let me tell you, I guess so. Give people a backstory of how I met Jenny. So I'm always looking for my guests. I'm always finding ways, of course, with Coffee with Joy, everything stems with the conversation. Whether you and God, yourself, or with someone, it always stems with the conversation. So as I'm looking, as I'm preparing to go to Ghana, right? And nobody in my circle has gone to Ghana. And little by little, once the decision was made, people start coming. I knew it was God. Like you said, it was God led because I had no fear. I had no fear. Didn't have fear then.
Right.
Because again, it was
Right.
like, how do I go? But then God starts sending the people, how to get a ride, how to go to a direction. But in the midst of that, I was on internet. Of course, social media looking. Once it hears that you want to go to Ghana, start bringing people. And I came across your page and I said,
Right.
wow, she lives in Ghana. And this is before I even went to the country. And I'm like, how's she doing it? Of course, and you have like the devil and the angel on your side, right? And
Right.
it's like pulling you. But eventually, devil, bye. Angel,
Right.
look, I know she's doing it, and it was full throttle. So I said, I would love to have her on my show. So this is now bring people up to speed. This is how I got Jenny on my show. So again, Jenny, thank you for coming on with Coffee with Joy. So
Absolutely.
now that you're here in Ghana. What was the first thing after you signed the lease, of course? Now that you're here, what was one of the first things that you did? Now that you know there's not a return back to this place they call the States, because I don't even think we the
The
States.
the first thing I did here in Ghana,
Correct. Mhm.
rest, rest.
Yes.
Man, I needed a rest. Working in America is so stressful. Like I work so much. That's all I've ever done. And because I had a business, it's like having two jobs all the time. I go
Yeah.
from my job and I go back home and I bake some cakes. And it's just like, it's too much. So the last few weeks of being in America, man, I hated going to work. So I really hated going to work. So it was just draining.
Yeah.
So when I finally got here, I gave myself a week. I gave myself an entire week. I was like, okay, so for the first week, I'm gonna just do what I never get a chance to do because I'm always working. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give myself a chance to rest.
Wow.
And it was great. It was great. I just, because I know there's a reason why I'm supposed to be here.
Yes.
So I needed my body to be relaxed, to be well rested, in order for me to receive the next steps that God wants me to do. So
Yes.
yeah, so I
Amen
just
to
gave
that.
myself a week and
Yeah.
then, went from there.
Rest is definitely needed. So,
Absolutely. Don't feel guilty about it either.
oh,
Never.
never. Believe me, I do it in the States. Because you
Right.
only get one day. Let me tell you, I put a
Man.
period on the end and I say I'll pick back up. Even
Right.
Jesus, God rested. So I'm going
Right.
to rest. And rest mean I may not sleep. I just want to pause. You know what? Just
Right.
release everything. And and
Exactly.
I'm okay with that because again,
Right.
it's going to get done. It may not get done on your time, but it's going to get
Right.
done. And if it don't, and it's
Absolutely.
okay. It's
Right.
okay. I promise you. It's going to get done. So, so after these
100%.
messages, we're going to continue to talk to my guest Jenny now that she's in Africa. She's in Accra, of course. If you haven't noticed, I'm wearing their flag. My shirt said "I love Ghana." So yes, I am so excited to hear now that she's planted here. She's been here for a few months, so we're going to hear how's her time here. She's not a visitor; she's a resident. So after these messages, we're going to continue to talk to my guest Jenny. So stay tuned. PayPal, QR code, and so that you can find out more about these Q sets and so much more. Let's get to work. Welcome back to Coffee with Joy. So excited to have you all. Please make sure if you like to patronize our company, please make sure that you follow our QR codes. We love to, any donation will help no matter the size. So now bring my guest Jenny back on. Now that we are here in Ghana, we are taking it up. So I'm so excited to hear all about Ghana because I love how you put your segment, your TikTok, how you talk about various places where you're going, what you eat, and so forth to really,
Yeah.
keep the interest going for the individual. So now that you're here, so just give us like an overview. Now that you're here, what has it been like? Now that you rest a week on, now that you
Right. It's been honestly so great. I really encourage people to, talk to the locals, make friends with the locals. I have a neighbor right now. She helped me with everything. So I feel like that is really what made this living here the best experience I've ever had, because she helps me with everything. So I feel like you need that one person who's a local, who can, really show you around, show you the ropes, teach you the language. She's teaching me Twi,
Yes.
and showing me places to shop, the best places to get, fish, to get, groceries and clothes and all these things. So she how to take trotro and the taxi. Like, she's really been helping me, and I
Mm.
feel like that made my I can't even imagine, like, being here and not having her to help me. But like
Mhm.
I said, everything is led by God. So I know she's a very spiritual person too. So
Yes.
she was led to help me. She says that every day. So it's for real. Like, she was meant to be in my life to help me throughout this whole process. And
Yeah.
that's what I feel like a lot of people need to realize, that you have to trust that when you're being led a certain places, God will send helpers to
Yes.
you to help you along.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So she
Yes.
was such a blessing to me, and it just made the experience so much better. She's always, asking me to go out, and we go and take chocho, and we go shopping, and she shows me places. Like, it's great. It's honestly, it's so great, because like I said, also, like, everything here is natural, so we get natural fruits and vegetables just on the roadside. And in America, that kind of lifestyle isn't really encouraged.
Yeah.
They really push processed foods on you. Where here, they push natural, organic food that grows in someone's backyard.
Yeah.
So
Wow. That's
honestly,
amazing.
right, like,
That's
it doesn't get better than that. Then you have to realize that the the true luxuries in life come from, having access to natural, healthy foods that are not expensive.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
And just being there is such a great feeling. Let me tell you, I haven't stopped smiling since I got back. Let me tell you.
yeah,
Because I told my friends, I am not there to spend money. I am there for an experience. And I want
right,
to make sure I obtain that experience. And like everything you said, I ditto, because it was people there that was always willing to help. They always
yeah,
kept a smile on your face. Even
right,
if you didn't understand, somebody there was to guide you. And
right.
I mean, if for a woman who always have words, I am like wordless, because it's a great place. Now, I do
Hmm.
commend you for taking the leap of faith and moving there. And yes, I am going back. So, of course, hopefully that we can meet up. Yes, I'm going back in the summer. Amen. Because I already told God we're going back. Yeah,
Perfect.
we're,
Absolutely.
we're going back. And normally I don't do international trip twice, but somehow or another going there. And I went by myself, went on a whim, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to take, just like yourself, I took my PTO. I'm not going during my um days off that they give us, because I'm an educator. So I said, no, I'm going to take my PTO and we're going to go. And it was the best thing ever. It was
That's
from the
awesome.
beginning to the end. From the beginning
Right.
to the end. Now, not to dig too deep into your business, but I like to go where the man resides. I'm heterosexual, of course, people, and really just the plethora of men. It's like walking into a fish market or meat market.
Right.
It's the so
Right.
and if and now, please, if I'm crossing my boundaries, just say, we'll discuss that later. Now,
It's okay.
have you met anyone? Have you been in a relationship? And before you answer, it's just like a plethora of men. Like I tell people, there are men. Now, I can't tell you.
There are. There are.
There are a plethora of men. That's up to you to decide if this is the man for you. But I'm pretty much sure everybody could walk away with a man if you truly
Yeah.
want to. So,
Most definitely. And I have considered it, and I have, met some people, and, tried talking to them and stuff like that. I just feel like, for me at this point in my life, that I'm just kind of taking it one day at a time. I'm just kind of taking it a little bit slow, just because, like, right before I moved here, like, a little bit about the events that took place before I
mhm,
moved was, literally all the signs that came from God. I literally lost my house. I lost
mm,
my car. it was like so many things happening at one time that really pushed me to make the decision to move.
Right.
And then my current relationship ended.
Mhm.
So it was right before I came here. So I don't know. Like I said, I was talking to people, but I don't know if I'm ready, I guess.
So yeah, but like I said, there's no need to rush. Is you're there. So I'll definitely enjoy it. Of course, taking in because the men are different. If I just have to pause for a second, the men are different from the states. Because again, I'm still battling with United. We're here, the
Right.
states. Men are just different, and it's to be expected. The men there that when I was there, they were very cordial, very respectful, very chivalry. Um, they gave with no always was very helpful. And granted, and men and women, but I say men because they were mainly in the service industry, right? With the
Right.
driving, with the door. So they was always in the forefront. Now, women was respectful as well, but is they always seem to keep a smile on your face without putting a smile on your face. It should be, it's almost like an oxymoron. That's to be expected. But when you don't hear that every day or you don't see that every day, it's like, wow, it does. It's only in the States. It's not here in the world, but that's for you to venture out and go out, and really to explore. Um, Now, so you talked about you touched on the food. What is your favorite food there? Because I love the food.
Right. Me too. That's so hard. When I first came here, I was obsessed with fufu and really any kind of soup.
Yeah,
But
okay.
fufu is definitely one of my favorite. But my
Yes.
neighbor has been teaching me how to cook. So
Okay.
some of my favorite things she's been teaching me is the contombre stew. That
Oh,
is my absolute favorite. It's like a goosey. It's like Nigerian goosey soup.
okay.
So that one's definitely one of my favorite things so far.
Okay.
And then we have like some pastries. They're called buffrot. Those are really good too.
Okay.
Yeah, those are
Okay.
my favorites.
Now, with my favorite was Banku. Fufu, I
Okay.
gotta get used to. Banku. Yeah, I gotta
Okay.
get used
Yes,
to
I like
fufu.
the banku too.
Yes. And the thing that people didn't tell you about fufu, because see, I of course he in the States, we don't eat with our hands, right? So I was excited,
Right.
right? And
Right.
got a whole video on that, but we'll produce that very soon. But
Okay.
just people don't tell you when you put it in, you got to just put it down. There's no chumping on it.
Yes. Yes, I know.
A shout
Which
out
is
to
very hard for me
see,
to do.
okay. Okay, I'm not alone. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I was trying to tell my driver, James, great guy, great guy. Took me around several times, but
Okay.
he was the one that took me to go try the fufu. And never in any videos where people say you don't chew, you put it back. No one. And if they did, I missed that part, right? But when he told
Right.
me, I had to tell my mind, get my teeth
Right.
ready. My teeth is ready
Right.
to say halt. Nothing goes down without us checking.
Right.
Like
Right.
I
I
had to put it.
completely understand.
Yeah, it took so fufu is like it's in the probably the top five, but
Right.
it's I'm gonna go with Banku because Banku is a little thicker. I can chew that
Yeah.
one time and then
Right.
because I don't have to worry about that. But the tilapia was
Right.
very nice. So
Okay.
I
Yeah.
didn't get
Right.
to taste a lot, but the little that I got to taste was phenomenal. So
Yes, absolutely. Those are my favorites too. I love the banku. I love it with the okra stew
okay,
and tilapia. Definitely. I've been eating more fish since I came here too, which
yeah,
was surprising to me. So
okay,
yes,
yeah.
I really love the fish here.
Mm. So on a day to day, what does Jenny day to day look like now that she's a resident there? What does her day to day look like?
Ah, my days are so great now because I finally have time now to work on things that I've been dying to work on.
Mhm.
So I love creating. I'm a creative person.
Okay.
So other than like my TikToks, I just started a YouTube channel
Okay.
and So I'll explain my day to day. So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I really love to do, I sit on my balcony and, sometimes I'll just eat fruit for breakfast.
Okay.
So amazing. And then I start my day off really slow because I like to enjoy my mornings. So I'll either read a book or, journal or something like that. So I'll do that. And then I just go into creator mode and I record a YouTube video and then I sit on my laptop and I edit it or I'll research things. So I also have a cake blog too. So I'll post like some blogs on my cake website
Okay.
and make some pins for Pinterest to promote my blog and stuff like that. So those are some of the things that I work on. And then also, depending on the day, if I have time, I'd really like to, go back into trading. I do a little trading too, like trading stocks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I don't really have time to do that. But my main focus during the days is uh, managing my Airbnbs that are still in Atlanta.
Okay.
So that's what takes a majority of my time. That, making YouTube, and my blog. So
Wow. Okay. That's phenomenal. That's great. Because again, there is just relax, take your time.
right, no
It's just
pressure.
none.
Right,
You just take your time. I know I'm such a timely person. I was told, be careful because, Guyanians don't really believe in that. You say
oh,
2 o'clock, they get there at 5:30. And you're like,
right,
so I had to like really plant that in my system because I am a stickler for time.
right.
I like to get there on time. When you say a time, I'm there. So because I'm just a firm believer, I get there, at least I'm there now. I can orchestrate my exit because I don't want
Okay,
to just get there and leave. So it just built upon that. But
right.
I had to prepare myself for that. So have you ever encountered that where you've gone somewhere and they show up late, or you just okay with it?
Yeah, most definitely. That's definitely like when I was working with the people from the relocation company.
Mhm.
Yeah, sometimes they would do that. So, and I hear a lot of stories about that happening too, where they can be a little too relaxed
Yeah.
with stuff like that because it's also a different culture because
Yeah.
if we're Americans, our culture is to hustle hustle hustle, like time is money, like
Mhm.
like they want us to feel like we're always have to be in a rush.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and Ghanaians, they didn't grow up like that, so
Yeah.
it's just more relaxed because they didn't have like the pressure that we have living in America. So
Yeah. Okay. So now that Diddy December is here, Diddy
it is.
December.
Oh
So are
gosh.
you planning to attend any
Ooh,
festivities, or you're looking forward to it, or you totally against it?
I uh I don't know. I It depends. I honestly I would like to see what it's really about because
Yeah.
this is obviously my first December ever here in Ghana.
Right.
So and people talk about it all the time and I still don't really know what it is. It's just partying, I guess. I'm
Okay.
not a party person. I'm like I said, I'm a homebody. I love peace. I love going to the beach and just relaxing on the I love like chill things.
Yeah.
But I would like to just go out and see what it is about. Like maybe just I don't know, just go to a restaurant or something and just watch what people tend to do during dirty December. So, but as to participate it every night, no, you probably won't find me out there. You
Right.
probably won't. You probably won't.
You probably won't. Because when I was there, people kept saying, "Why didn't you come in December? Why didn't you come in December?" I'm like, "People, I'm
Oh,
here now. Chill out.
right,
Here."
right,
Like I chose not to go there because I didn't want to be there with all the crowds, and I know things
right,
tend to be more a little expensive because they know
right.
coming and people looking forward to that. So I said, well, no, I didn't want to be mix and mingle. I want to really enrich myself into a culture, not by force. So while everybody's
Right.
still doing, this is who they are. It's almost like, you're cleaning up because it's Christmas, you got family come over. No, I want to see your regular every day if possible. So that's the main
Right.
purpose why I didn't want to go with Diddy December. And plus, why leave the States to come back to the States? Because that's
Right.
basically what you're doing, you know.
Right. Right.
People leaving here.
Exactly.
So,
So I'm really good with all that. But like I said, I really enjoy going to like networking groups and stuff like that. Like I
okay.
went to like a brunch with some
Okay.
other expats. That I would like to do because then you just meet people who also moved here from the States. So
Hmm.
people who actually live here too. So or so that I would enjoy doing.
Wow. I mean, this is such a bowl of information. So great to hear. I know we could talk about this all day. And it's so
Right.
great for you just to share just a snippet of your time from leaving the States to, actual, Ghana and being there. So as we bring the show to a close, what keeps Jenny going? What is something that keeps Jenny going? We know, of course, you relocated, you learning something new. What keeps you forward? The affirmation prayer, what stays in forefront so that Jenny can make sure she continue to grow in life?
Yeah, so I do have this affirmation that I say all the time. I even put it in my YouTube channel, but
Mhm.
I always say everything is always working out for me. And that's what really helps me going because everything is always working out for me. I
Amen.
know that God has my back and I know that everything's happening for a reason. So,
Right. Amen.
amen.
Yes, amen. So again, thank you so much, Jenny. Woo! Thank you so much
Mhm.
for being on Coffee with Joy. Please make sure
Absolutely.
if you would love to be a guest on Coffee with Joy, please make sure that you follow our website, which is thecoffeewithjoyshow.com. And if you'd like to patronize our company, please make sure that you follow the QR codes. And if you'd love to hear more about Ghana, I know that Jenny has a plethora of information across her TikTok. Don't be afraid. Jump out on Leap of Faith. Go. If you never went abroad or went to any other continent, I say do it. It's worthwhile. It really change your perspective on life and really give you a new meaning on what is out there more than what you think. So please, if you traveled or you love to be a guest, please make sure you follow us. So, and as always, if it's a weekday or weekend, it's Coffee with Joy. Until then, you live life on purpose and see you all soon.